people? It's Kenny back with a new video. So I'd like to tell you guys about the life as a pre-PA student currently in their gap year. Right now I'm a phlebotomist at this donation company, and I'd like to just go over what I do on a regular basis, what my week is looking like, what I'm doing, every day. And starting off, waking up at around 5:15. Today I was scheduled to come in around 6:30, 6:25. So 5:15 is a good time for me because it allows me to get my, morning routine going, allows me to actually wake up, allows me to eat, and then, get dressed, shower up, brush my teeth and do all the things I need to do before heading in work, get that hygiene in. So usually I wake up, brush my teeth, face routine, and then I go down, instantly eat a bowl of oatmeal. I eat that thing every day. After that, I make tea, I fill up my water jug, and I'm usually heading out the door like right away. Depending on my schedule for the day, I'll either make sure I bring my gym supplies because I'll be going to the gym right after or before work. Usually that's how it works. Today I went to the gym after work, and let me tell you a little bit about like once I get to the job. So I get there around 6:25, 6:30, clock in as usual, and then we check the schedule to see, how many donors are we're gonna have. Depending on the amount of donors means the amount of blood boxes we're gonna have to bring. Depending on the type of bag we're gonna bring to the drive, depends on if we're gonna bring ice or not. So once our leader, team lead, checks off all of that, tells us what to do, we pack up the blood van and we head out. So today we went to a high school. This is high school season. Usually high school season is where most of the, blood drive companies make, all their money. But I shouldn't really say that because we're non-profit, but where they get most of their blood from. So it's usually from the high schools. So today we went in, I want to say Mooresville. I really don't know. But we went to a high school. So around, I want to say 30 people each because we had to bring at least 2 buses. And each bus saw about 30 people, so 30 people each. Usually how the donation goes is that there's registration, they check your temperature, see if it's under 99.6, anything under 99.5. If it's 99.6, then we're just gonna have to defer you because there's a possibility you could have COVID or something, and we don't want that because, that's infected blood. So usually check the temperature, make sure they meet all the requirements. So you have to be at least, I want to say 110 pounds to donate. And yeah, you want to be in shape. You don't need to be in shape, but you need to be, not intoxicated. You need to be, in your right mind. You need to be, at least 110 pounds. So there's not that many requirements, like straight on, but after you go in, they take your vitals. So, you want to have, your blood pressure be around 120/80. They check your hemoglobin. So for females, we need the hemoglobin to be above or at least 12.5. For the male donors, we need that to be around 13.0. Okay. And after we do the vitals, make sure the hemoglobin's good, blood pressure's good, the pulse is good. We go into questions. So we give them a tablet. Usually it has around 52 questions with a bunch of reading material, a bunch of consent that they have to go through. And usually people either, read through it or, they skim it, sign it, consent, all of that. After that, after they finish all the questions, these questions are meant to find out if they've been doing anything that would inhibit them from donating. For example, if you have a piercing and you recently got it and it's not healed yet, we cannot take your blood because you still run the risk of infection. That's just one example of, reasons that you could not be able to donate. And this is why we give them the 52 questions, because It has all the reasons. So like possible medications you might be taking. If you took aspirin, that'll affect the platelets. So if you were gonna donate platelets and you took aspirin either the day before or the same day, you won't be able to donate. And yeah, those are just a few examples of like the questions that they have to see if you'll still be able to donate. Usually people pass these questions, but on occasions, if you like have like a tattoo or recent piercing and it's not yet healed, you won't be able to donate. So yeah, that's a thing. As well as the medication, that's a big part. So after they, they pass, they finish all the questions, all their vital signs are good. We usually send them to the phlebotomy station, like either the person doing the registration will tell them which chair to sit at, where they could have their blood drawn, or we just send them straight to the person handling phlebotomy at the time. So usually, depending on the amount of people, amount of workers on the drive, it's either coordinated where there's a phlebotomy area and then there's a registration area. So they handle two different parts, or if it's like a small amount of people, sometimes only two people on the drive, people just do both. So we do registration and we do phlebotomy. Okay. And once they get there, they sit down, they choose which arm they want to use. Usually it doesn't really matter because a lot of people say, oh, all right, with this hand, I don't want to, use this hand, so I use this hand. And it really doesn't matter because you're only going to keep the bandage on for like 4 hours. And then after that, it's not like your hand's going to be sore or something, or like you won't be able to move it. Like preferences to your hands in terms of like whether you write with it or not really doesn't matter. But, I just hear it a lot. And, usually I tell them it doesn't really matter. So, but they always end up choosing the non-dominant hand anyways. So yeah, once they get to the chair, this is the phlebotomy side. We want to like check to make sure, they got good veins, and we want to make sure we pick the most optimal vein that would, get the best blood flow. So usually give them like a squeeze ball, tie the tourniquet, and get them pumping. Once they, pumped enough, and you could clearly see that, there's pressure in this area, we start palpating, see if we can find a vein. And just like how mine is right here, palpate it, feel it. Usually feels like a little trampoline inside the body. Boom, there you go, that's the vein, okay? They go through the information, make sure all the information is correct. Make sure all the bags and the labels for the tubes align with the person. So, double checking the work, and then cleaning the area, sticking the needle in, and just monitoring the donor, making sure like they're not getting lightheaded, making sure, they're awake, you're not allowed to sleep, and making sure like we're ready for any signs that they're gonna have a reaction. Another thing I'd like to add is that these buses are like, the AC is always on blast. Not necessarily on blast, but the ACs are always on. This is to prevent the donors from, having a reaction. So keeping their bodies cool and not hot will like help make sure like these donors do not have a reaction, because that is the last thing we want to do. Okay, and that's mostly the blood donation process. Usually if they're going to have a reaction, or we could tell that or they tell us that they're feeling lightheaded, or we could literally just see the signs of, pale in the face, losing color in their lips and their face, blinking very slowly. You could just instantly tell that, they're not feeling their best and they might have a reaction. So usually we'll give them some Sprite or Coca-Cola to, use like Listerine first in their mouth and then swallow. And this is to just get their blood sugar back up, because once the blood donation process, you want to re-up on your sugars and hydration, because, you're losing all of that while you're donating. Okay, so that's almost the whole blood process. After that, we tie the bandage, we tell them to keep it on for 4 hours. We tell them to avoid any strenuous activities. The next time they'll be able to donate, if it's whole blood, is 2 months. So 56 days. And if they do double blood red cells, it's going to be 4 months. and however many days that is. And tell them to, you know, get some sugar in their system, eat a steak. Yeah, tell them to eat a steak, and take it easy for the day, because their body is going to notice that there is a significant amount of blood that's gone. And the amount of blood that we take is a pint, which is a good amount, and at the same time it's a good amount. Like, everybody's gonna feel that a pint has left their body. So yeah, that's the blood donation process. And yeah, so that's what we do. Sometimes we do inside setups, other times it's just on the bus. uh some days we see literally like 80 to 100 people coming in. Other days it'll be around maybe 30, maybe 40. But those other days when it's like 80 to 100, it's usually an inside setup, and we're usually like at a high school or like at like a Panthers game, and like people are just constantly coming. Okay. So yeah, that's it. That's what it's like being a phlebotomist. I will try to capture some videos of me on the job, but just making sure, HIPAA, making sure I'm not violating anything. I'll show you guys my morning routine, but right now this video is just dedicated to what I do on the job and how the job works. And yep, the blood, I can't say where it goes to because that might be a dead giveaway, but it goes right to the hospital. I'll just say that. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. More videos like this coming soon. This is Kenneth Treasure, pre-PA phlebotomist in his gap year, applying to PA school, starting the next application cycle. Just want to keep you guys updated, show you guys the process, show you guys what it's like being in the gap year. And until next time, I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.